Maybe your pops was tops. Maybe your father's a bother. If he's angry and mad or in absentee lad, no matter what kind you had, here's fuck you, Dad.
What?
He was from. I mean, and this was
What a talented city.
I
bet they were
producing the
super proud of him, right? Because they were probably very...
There was no one else from Raleigh. This was huge. This basically, if someone from Raleigh had stepped foot on the moon, we would have cared less because we couldn't have voted on it. It was huge. People had viewing parties.
Yeah.
They were shutting down streets. They were
shutting down streets.
I remember there being a parade being in the works for him being one. And I remember he worked at the YMCA that I was going to go to. And I remember being like, I could have gotten taught by Clay Aiken. It was the first time I had ever had some sense of like what my life could have been. I had a real existential. And my brother...
He would have brought you too.
He would have
been like, yeah, I can sing, and this kid can swim.
This kid can... There would have been a moment where he's singing Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls, and I'm like, I'm there doing a thing. And I remember my brother got a Reuben Studdard CD.
I loved Reuben Studdard. I never got a CD.
He was it was his first act of protest. It was like wearing goth makeup around your parent. Like he getting a Reuben Studdard CD in Raleigh was his like we're not
was the same year. That was
the same year, and he got the Studdard CD.
Yeah, that's funny.
So Michael was like, I'm getting the Studdard. that we're not gonna take it. It was a really bold move.
That is a bold move. That he was in Scooby-Doo.
He was that. I was gonna mention that fact, but I was like,
that motherfucker got into Scooby-Doo.
He got in.
How mad do you think Clay Aiken was? Well, he had a good career actually. Clay Aiken really.
He was gonna be a.
What was that song he had? Didn't he have a song?
I don't remember. I just remember his soft eyes.
Yeah,
I don't remember what his song
nice
was.
Face.
He had a nice.
I think Sam Smith just ate him, Kirby style.
That's really what happened. I think they said it's not working.
You see that video of Sam Smith performing, and he's like in a romper?
Yeah, they got
he's
him
in like
a
tight romper, and it was like, oh, buddy.
Oh yeah, no.
You don't know. You gotta go. You're kind of dad bodding out right now.
Yeah, the move would be at this stage is to start wearing a lot of, become a real coat guy. You know what I mean? Do a lot of songs about being coat. Songs called like Into the Dark where there's a lot of low lighting, but he's kind of
Unholy should be about like eating nacho cheese at 2 a.m. That's really unholy. That's what it should be about. That song is also
chocolate
fucking
milk
hot
in your cereal. That song is kind of sensual. It gets me going.
Oh yeah, no, it's a good bop.
It's a good pop.
It's a good bop. I haven't even talked. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy Merry Christmas. Happy.
How was it?
It was great. I went in there for like 4 days.
Wow, that's a quick.
It was a quick in and out.
That's very quick.
I'll tell you what happened. Is that I thought I did 4 days, and I was like, I don't know.
Did you just write "I don't love my family" on your face the whole time? Because that's what I would have been thinking.
When you come in and they say, "What day are you leaving?" and you say 6 hours,
Thursday.
6 hours after Christmas ends, because Christmas was on that Sunday, and I left on Monday.
Wow.
So it's basically like, wow, like basically opening a gift, putting it in your suitcase, and then just walking out of the house. It's truly, it's honestly, you're taking a gift away from your mom on Christmas because she's aware of. But like, I thought I was going to be able to move my seat. I was like, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to see what North Carolina's like. Probably what's going to happen is the spirit of Christmas is going to take me.
Yes.
And then I'll like,
it truly does.
And then I'll stay there for longer. And then, but I didn't know that I had gotten basic economy basic bit, like you're not allowed to move. I called them up and I was like, "Can I change my ticket, sir?" And they're like, "You're not allowed to call us with this, with the ticket you have. I don't know who gave you customer service. We will take off with the plane. You don't get a seatbelt on this plane."
I can't believe I'm even talking to you right now.
I said, it says basic economy. I just heard beep. Like, I was supposed to be in the cargo hold, but I just sweet talked a guy to let me into the top. So it was a quick in and out. I was back in North Carolina.
Hell yeah.
You if I don't mind me asking, had a big. This is the big baby. Pot announcement.
Popped the question.
Popped
it up.
The question.
And I gotta say, it didn't go as expected.
Yeah, what happened?
Well, here's the thing: is I pretty much had the yes in the bag. Okay,
yeah,
that's in the bag.
That's confirmed.
I think anybody who pops a question nowadays, like you figure it out. You know,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of guys just being like, I feel like in the 70s and 80s, it was just like, they were just getting down on one
They
knee
really were.
and really rolling the dice.
After 3 months of dating, they were just swinging it.
They were like,
But-
okay, you just met my parents today, da-da, and it's like...
But now it's like a backroom deal. It's kind of like how in the NBA they'll announce the trades the day of because
Yeah,
they've been
yeah.
working behind the scenes the whole time.
Exactly. So we made out a deal. We were working a lot behind the scenes, so I wasn't nervous about that. I was nervous because I knew I was going to surprise her, and she hates surprises. Like, really doesn't fuck with it. Like, she's one of those people, like, if I threw a surprise party, she would, like, stab somebody first before being like, oh, it's a party. Like, she's on guard.
Kick
you know?
someone down, really.
So I was like, I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know if I'm going to get, like, crying, happy, or if she's going to, like, not want to do it. And, you know, it is
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. It's a lot of vulnerability, you know. So I proposed on Christmas, and I told her parents to ask us to leave to, like, get cream or whatever.
Yeah.
And they did such a good job doing that. I thought we really needed cream. I thought it was a legitimate chore. I was like, oh shit, they really went all out and, like, dumped the cream in the toilet so that they needed cream. We got to go get cream.
You're just like, listen, this is I can't propose now. We've got the store's closed. We got to get French vanilla. They close early for the holidays.
It's hilarious because it's Christmas morning, right? So Kelly's downstairs, like, making coffee, you know, cheerful. I'm upstairs in the bedroom in, like, this rocking chair, like, with the weed pen, just, like, slowly taking small hits and being like, no, it'll be okay. And she definitely knew something was up. And then, so I was like, all right, let's go get the cream. We drive to one gas station, no cream. So,
so you're actually going to get the cream.
Yeah. In my universe, we need cream. That's thing one, and then we'll get to thing two, right? So then we drive the gas station.
Could there have been any sort of marijuana influence on any of this?
Probably not a good idea. Probably a lot of addict behavior.
There could have been.
Yeah, if you want to nitpick, Mark, maybe getting baked before proposing isn't, like, the best idea.
It does make it a lot more special. It makes it a little bit more of a magical world. It's truly the thing. We're going in,
So
you go to get cream.
I know, we're walking around this gas station, there's no cream. I go, fuck. Let's go to this other gas station. We drive more to go to this other gas station. We secure the cream. Then we go back, and on her way to her house, we drive by my old house where I grew up, which is where we went on our first dates in high school and stuff. So I pull over. Now, it's Christmas Day in Minnesota. It's like, maybe a degree.
Yeah,
maybe
it was
a degree.
very cold. This was during the polar vortex of all vortex. Weathermen were dying. They were stepping outside to report on it, and they never saw their families again.
I stepped over several dead animals when I got out of the car.
I'm surprised your car. Yeah, so you.
I pull past the house, and I have to do something to try to get her out of the car. So I look at the house, and I'm like, oh, did you see that? Something that's crazy. That's so crazy. Something crazy's happening.
That's wild.
You gotta go. You gotta come see this.
got
So, like,
cheap
I
cream in
open the door, and she goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, oh shit. Like, she never goes to 0 to what the fuck are you doing a lot.
You tried to first broach the idea of a surprise, and immediately it was guns out.
It was, yeah.
She was standing her ground.
And I was like, you just got to come see this crazy shit. It's at the house. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then, so I get out of the car, and she goes, all right, fuck. I was like, oh my God. And she slams the door, and then she immediately goes, it's cold as hell out here. And I was like, yeah. And I get down on one knee, right? And then she approaches me, and I go, will you marry me, everything? And she looks at me, and she goes, we went to 2 gas stations. I was like, I literally looked at the studio audience. I looked to the left. I was like, I don't know what to do here. Like, say yes, let's do that. Then get after me about going to 2 gas. Don't lead out with 2 gas stations.
You got to say that's something we maybe say after the car. Perhaps it was the 2 gas stations thing that made her reassessing the whole thing.
She was really like, this motherfucker. It's Christmas Day, and this guy doesn't even know where to go to get cream, and he's high as shit.
She's going. Before that morning when she was making coffee, she was a for sure yes. And the next thing you know, you're going into Circle K, being like, I don't think milk will work. As she's waiting in the car, having no circulation to her feet, and she's like, maybe this isn't the forever. But when did you?
She said yes. There was a great embrace.
Oh,
and then
I saw the pictures. Who took the pictures?
Well, that's the thing. The sister-in-law really wanted to take pictures, and I said, well, this is where I'm planning on doing it if you want to be like walking by at some point or whatever. So she was hiding in the neighbor's yard in a full snowsuit. It looked like a ghillie suit. It looked like a military Spec Ops ghillie suit. And she was like, where the fuck were you going? Like, she was pissed off, too. I pissed off 2 women while proposing. And I was like, we had to go to 2 gas stations to get cream. And then we get to the house. We get back to the house, and we pull up with the cream. We pull up to the cream. Kelly's mom was like, what the why'd you get cream? 3 women upset at me.
The whole family every single time was...
And I was like, damn, dude, I fucked up by getting the cream. And everyone's like, yeah, that's pretty dumb of you. But, hey, we met,
Hey,
I did it really in Nick style,
just the idea of...
Really stumbling across the finish line.
Really, honestly, it's the dedication that's going to make you a great husband. It's that thing of it's Christmas Day and we're going out there. The idea of the sister-in-law dressed like a special ops sniper, dressed like she's about to go storm, like it's in World War II and she's about to go take a Nazi hold.
If I saw her hiding, I would be like, she is doing something bad. This is negative. Whatever it is, it's negative.
It's just wait.
She looked great. It was like in Call of Duty, when you're like the camera's panning across like a scene of wilderness, and then all of a sudden someone will like stand up, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, it was literally that. So invisible.
Did she make her present? So she took the picture and she said, "I'm so happy for you guys," and then she came over and was like,
No. She approached us and was like, "What were you doing? I'm cold as hell. Like I've been outside for like 25 minutes, and it's like a degree. There's like wind and shit." Oh. And I was like, we had to go to 2 gas stations to get cream. And then we pulled up to the house and they were like, why'd you get cream? And then everyone was just like, God damn it, Nick. You didn't need cream. But yeah, it was and then Christmas was awesome. There was a bunch of family. The families met each other.
Oh, that's very big. The
parents met each other. Yeah. We decided to do it on neutral ground. We went to a bar that was like,
That's good.
That
That's
way
fair.
it's in public.
Everyone unload their weapons, leave their
People
weapons at the door.
Hammered. This wedding is going to be out of control.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild one.
When the parents met each other, every adult had 5 plus
oh my
beers.
God.
And
that's a medical dose.
My mom was slurring, I'm so happy for you guys.
So
it's just beautiful. Like holding in tears. And I'm like, okay.
I'm just imagining people
I spent $2,000.
People getting... I'm just picturing people getting more and more. Why should you get the fucking cream? You fucking...
But yeah, it was a big Christmas, nice New Year's. I don't know how it would feel, but it feels free.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels more free. I don't know how to explain that, but like it's kind of like
nice. This is better than most people heard. So
it's kind of like if you have a shit car, like an old classic car, right, and you're nervous about selling it, and then somebody finally signs the paperwork to be like, I'll buy this piece of shit car from you, and you're like, oh my god,
I no longer have to.
I don't have to worry about the piece of shit car. Somebody bought it.
Have to do maintenance. Their family's gonna tow it around.
Parts anymore.
Right.
I did a spot in Minneapolis, Don't Tell show. It was like sold out. It was a fucking hot show. I needed a hot show too, because I was like, there was a lot of family and stuff, and I got to like be by myself, go to a hot show.
Those hotel rooms are hot.
And I did a bunch of jokes, and then I like was like, oh, my fiance and stuff. So I was talking, and then these like 4 girls approached me after the show, and they were like, oh, does your wife know about, and it was cool to hear a wife,
Yeah.
Does your wife know about all the jokes and stuff? And it was totally like, beforehand, I've been with Kelly for a long time, so it was never like a thing of,
Yeah.
But I would always just be this weird level of nervous. I don't know how to explain it, but having the paperwork I'm just like, yeah, that's my wife. You guys know I have a wife. And so we're all disarmed. We're all disarmed having a good time.
Yeah, that is a good point. Is that there also it's true. So the second that a girl kind of hears that you're officially in a relationship,
Well, of course, then they all want to talk to me. They bought me a drink, and I was like, no woman has never bought me a drink.
You said wife on stage, and they're coming up.
All women are buying me drinks. It's insane. Insane. I didn't know it came with that many perks. I didn't think other women were going to be involved at all, but it turns out it's a nice little perk.
No, it is kind of a good way to be like, you know what, I'm not actually a creepy person. Someone has bought the car. You don't have to worry about the car running you over, the car taking a thing. I'm purchased. I'm completely off the market.
I'm purchased.
You are. Now, she might be a little bit upset to hear this, is that being like, sold the...
Yeah, because I bought a Lexus.
Yeah.
I'm great to, she bought it's going to need a lot of work.
She bought one of those like Soviet cars that when you slam the door closed, it explodes. She's got one of those. But this is awesome. This is awesome for me as someone that's a big fan of the racing and a big fan of the car. Someone that loves. I'm happy for you.
She loves being compared to objects too. So I'm happy for her to hear that I called her a Lexus.
I'm going to tell you a little bit of story on my end about what happened. Is that I said to my mom, I was like, "How do you feel about like?" I thought it was very sweet, and I was gonna. This is how I was gonna broach the fact that you got married. I was like, to my mom and to my sister-in-law, I was like, "How do you feel about people getting married on?" Like proposing on Christmas Day. And my mom she was like, she was like making something in a skillet, and she just goes, "I can't stand it." And she said, I mean, with like the, I can't, audioly you can't get the shake. Like I just asked her just like about a horrific past. Like I'd asked her about being tortured, and then like I had the photo of you kind of being there, and I was like, Nick just did that. And she was like, "Ah!" And then I showed it to her, and she's like, "That's very sweet. He did it nice. He did it in front of a house. That's very good." But there was a brief moment where we might have to hedge asking Donna to the wedding because I think she's got some lingering feelings.
Trust me, if I'm inviting Donna to this wedding, I've hit the Powerball. Okay, if Donna is in the spectrum of who I'm inviting, because that's the other thing.
That's also like elementary school bus drivers coming. If Donna's coming, that's the entire extended family.
We for some reason have decided to reach to the nethers of who we know.
This is end of Big Fish. Everyone you've ever met is coming.
Because I was stressing for like months I was like, we gotta get to I considered buying the ring the finish line, which is foolish.
Yes.
Because buying the ring now we have to have a wedding of some sort.
It is a promise for a thing.
Something needs to happen now. Some expensive thing needs to happen sometime in the future.
It is put on the dates for an expensive thing. But
you can wait years. That's the trick of it.
First of all, COVID is still around, and there's a lot of big COVID concerns.
That's true. Now I'm going to be super into COVID.
You got to be so into COVID. Just, man, there's a new strain coming over. It's coming over from Shanghai, and they don't know what it is. But needless to say, honestly, it's one of those things that spreads, like somehow like COVID spread through that people with beards. This one might spread through rings. So you might need to take that ring back, give me the 2,000, and then maybe I use it.
Yeah, guys, we're going to have to postpone another year. Cake guy got COVID. I don't know.
I promise
we need a cake. You can't get married without a cake. Everyone knows that.
I don't know if you know. We made a cake. We set up the new venue. There's just been an infestation of American chicken eggs, and it's just this cake was baked with it. We're gonna have to decontaminate the spot.
It's crazy. We had appetizers, turtle soup, actually really nice. Turtle flu. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Another year. It's crazy. This wedding is going to be it's going to be really incredible though.
It was going to be a nice one. It was going to be in the barns. They're calling it ground zero of SARS. They're calling it, I'm telling you, you can look on 60 Minutes. They did a thing about it.
So I keep joking around with her family cuz on Christmas, I have a couple of beverages. That's what I do on Christmas. I'm an adult,
Hey, I ain't your PO. I ain't your officer.
So they ask like, do you have a wedding date? Which is insane. It's like we just got engaged today. Can y'all chill about a wedding date?
We'll get a wedding.
They were like, when do we have to save the date? All that kind of stuff. And then to one of her relatives, I was like, we're just gonna get married in the park, pop a couple 40s, everybody gets a pack of cigarettes, we're gonna have fun. And then she gave the most sincere, like, I'm sure whatever you do will be nice.
Oh, that's so
I was
awesome.
like, I'm joshing around for crying. You think I'm that much of a piece of shit?
That's so sweet.
But it's funny
that's
'cause
exactly how
it is
my
like-
family members would react to
Yeah,
it.
I have like a Bud Light tall boy in my hand. I'm like, we're going to pop a couple 40s.
What was
This is a person I met twice. So they have no idea who I am.
We're gonna go to the bowling alley. I know the guy that signs the shoes. We're gonna get unlimited plays, and we're gonna elope right there. We're gonna do it in the arcade room.
They have great old fashions. They put the stuff, they polish the shoes with the
They give
shine. They put a little bit of
A
shine in
little
it.
bit of shine in it, and you only notice it when you try to drive home and you see double vision. But let me tell you something, it's real good. You guys are all invited. The more, the merrier. Now,
But
the date is going to be coming up. It's going to be prepared.
it's
I am.
2024 at the latest,
Let's
my
get.
friend.
You know what? Put the 10. Do it like they do Marvel movies. Just be like, we're planning a new phase of development. We don't want to spoil it for the fans.
Yeah.
It'll be 2024, maybe 2025. You know what I mean?
Something like that.
If I were you,
I don't know. I want like
I'll put
I want more than one bachelor party. Is that okay?
No one's.
I feel like
going,
I want a bachelor party every year until I get married. How about that?
You should not. So the plan is we're not going to get married. Let's just go ahead and do.
I just want to get drunk with my boys. That's really why I'm doing this. I want to get drunk with my boys like 2 or 3 more, like really just go after it.
Just absolutely.
Although
go.
getting drunk at your own wedding, I feel like that's kind of trashy.
You got to do it really late in the night. Then you can get absolutely.
Yeah.
slammed. So what you do
You can't
is you gotta do,
Can't be up there like I did.
you know what you
I do.
I fucking love you so fucking much. You're so good in that dress. They said, my mom hates you, but I fucking love
You may
you.
now kiss the bride. I'm gonna fuck her all night long, baby.
I don't care what they say about you. I
don't care what
they
they
say
say.
about. Everyone's been like, this won't work. It's gonna work. You know how people do a thing where they'll have 2 bachelor parties if they have like a split friend group, like one lives on the West Coast. And
That's
one,
coward. That's cowardice.
Here's what you got to
That's
do.
cowardice.
You got to be like.
No, I'm having a hodgepodge,
No, I'm
dude.
saying split friend group. I got to go to a bachelor party for my friends that live in Lakeview, bachelor party for my friends that live in Albany Park. You got to have the most. Get everyone included, invite them around.
That could be good.
I'll be coming around. I'm going to a bachelor party on February
Get out of here. Where at?
at Harrah's Casino
Nice.
in
Harrah's.
Harrah's. This is good. Harrah's
In
Casino.
Vegas?
No, in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Oh,
So-
I've never been to that casino. I've always wanted to go.
Every time I tell people
I
I'm
don't
going,
think it's a real destination.
No, they say you're going there. They say how, and there's not like a plane that goes to Cherokee.
Nope.
I honestly think I might have to take a horse. I don't know how you get there. I'm pretty sure someone. It has to be and so I'm going there. I'm flying into Charlotte, and then I'm driving 3 hours with my friend, and he rented a cabin, and we're just gonna go cabin to casino to cabin, and fly out. So the plan, I don't really know exactly what's happening. I know I'm probably going to lose a lot of money. I hear it's very sad. I hear
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people. There's like a couple of people that are in a game floor that are on like auction tanks.
Well, it's
There's
a
lo-
casino. I mean,
yeah,
listen,
But I hear this one is like.
casinos are sad. Don't get it twisted.
But Cherokee, there's not a lot going on. I've been to Cherokee one time
Yeah.
before, and let me tell you something. We got them. I mean, it is not. It is not really nice. It's like a North.
you did a number on them.
Did a not
You
like
did a
mission?
number.
Unfortunately, mission. I mean, it's not good up there, dude. In Cherokee, it's not well, and there's nothing to do other than the casino.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna hang out with.
Kind of
friends.
sounds cool to me.
Yeah, this does. Honestly, we might need to do like a little switcheroo situation.
Well, my bachelor party is in Asheville, so similar.
When is it?
End of March. Different time. But it's like a rented out cabin mansion, and I'm going to try to bring shroom chocolate.
That's gonna be. People are doing
And
this a lot more.
I like the shroom chocolate.
You guys-
Because you can just take a square of the shroom chocolate. And guess what? It doesn't taste like shrooms. That's the best part.
That was huge because
Yeah.
the taste of the shrooms.
the
was
taste, the texture, the everything, the look.
The look.
Looks like something you shouldn't be eating.
It looks your body, every part of it coming in contact with your body's sending huge rejection
yeah,
signals.
it's like, that looks like a moldy penis. Please don't eat that.
Please
And
stop.
you go, no, it'll be fun.
It
Even your stomach's like, no, it's not fun. You're like, yes, it is.
You're going to enjoy this because you're literally your body's reacting to like it's probably a poison. I don't know it, but it's probably a negative.
Probably a little bit of
There's
it.
got to be something in there that's not good.
I've had a lot of good times.
I've had a lot. Also, you're going to be in Asheville, which means you're going to be
That's
amongst the nature.
Yes.
That's where you're supposed to take it. You're going to look. You're going to see the aurora borealis.
Cops are on mushrooms.
Cops, there, dude. They're distracted by the lights. They turn
They
on their
gotta
own
be on
reds and
mushrooms
blues.
because most of the people they're dealing with are on mushrooms. So they're like, I gotta be in the space, man.
They're
like Joey Diaz. They're like, I gotta get in there with you.
They've got to be. They've got to. You know, like that movie Jumper. Where you have to you have a stick and you can jump. They've got to be on the same plane as the people they're catching. They've got to be in the astral realm with them. And I'm sure that's something that they tell their supervisors when they ask why they're doing mushrooms.
You saying plane made me think of a funny story, but I want to check.
You got notes for it?
Terrible podcast. Oh wow, we've been cooking. That's okay. Let's do some doc talk. Let's do some doc talk, and then we'll wrap it up after the doc talk because me and Mark, we did it once on the Patreon. We gotta keep on it. I'm bad at keeping on things. 2023, I'm gonna keep on.
We're gonna keep the fans have been demanding it.
Clips are up, reels are up. We're gonna get the YouTube to 1K. We're so close. We're at 902. That's so close. 98 more motherfuckers, and we get 1,000 YouTube subs. Then we're a podcast. Now we're chugging.
Now we're chugging along. Next thing you know, we're selling Alpha Brain. It's talking about podcasts. I'm trying to sell creatine to 16-year-olds.
If I start selling stuff,
that's gonna rule.
Everyone know that I need it. Okay, it's not because I think you should buy it. It's because I got a wedding to pay for now. Yeah, I got a family. We have a cat.
You've got 12 bachelor parties that you're gonna have to finance, and you're gonna have.
Yeah, I got a lot. I have to drink with the boys so many times that I have to sell the fucking.
You've got to do
the My Squarespace.
My Squarespace. You've got to do the most unbelievable.
My Squarespace.
Yeah, My Squarespace. Pillow.com.
Yeah.
You got to do
My Squarespace sheath.
You got to do the most you know how they do like the personal story on one of those things, and it'll be the most unbelievable thing.
I bought it today, and I love it.
Where it's just like, you know what? I really hate all the times where I'm going. I have to go to the post office to get postage, and it's like, how much are you doing? This is
Stamps.com was the every time I listen to that ad, I go, what the fuck are you talking about? Who needs stamps this much?
Also, I listen to your guys. It's a podcast about your life. You guys sleep on an air mattress and just play video games.
You were never mailing anything.
You've never mailed a package. It's just I like it when sometimes they'll let it slip where they're like, I don't even know where the post office is. And then they'll be like, use our promo code SLOUCH to go and get it. Doc
Talk, yes. I watched one called, I haven't 100% finished it, but it's the most insane shit I've ever seen. It's called Don't Pick Up the Phone. So it's this guy who would do these, like, they're prank calls, essentially. And he'd call, like, McDonald's, Wendy's in small towns. And he'd be like, I'm a police officer with such and such a county. One of your employees is under investigation for stealing something. Can you get her into the office? And then they have the manager, like, strip search them. And these people are getting naked. And it gets pretty horrific. The worst it got was a manager of a McDonald's got his dick sucked in the office because a guy on the phone said he was a police officer.
A guy on the phone says, and he managed to spin that.
Spin
it into gold.
To literally spin that yarn so hard
But who's the guy on the phone?
This
the guy on the phone, the man.
Dude, this is the problem: is I haven't finished it, so they find him eventually. But he's a creeper guy who just calls on a payphone. He's like, "Hi, I'm a police officer," and he goes like minuscule step by step. But he gets these people to like completely undress, throw their clothes away.
The police officer does. So the guy on the phone is dictating this whole thing. Of like,
whole thing. He's calling from somewhere. He's calling from like Palm Springs, Florida, and he's just talking to this guy in McDonald's in Albuquerque. And he's got like some naked girl because he's like told the strip searcher is like rubbing her naked butt on some random manager, all because he's saying this through the phone. It's
That's the wildest scheme I've ever heard of.
So horrible.
It's crazy how there are just managers out there that are like going with it.
Well,
it's tough to trick both of them. I think there's
now
one
you're
manager that's like
the only funny part about it
is that there's one manager that's not really challenging at all and being like, well, listen, we got a man in Palm Springs that says he knows what he's doing.
He does it so many times. He does it hundreds of times. That's how horrible and horny men's brains are. Is there like the inch of like leverage of being like, you could ask her to suck your dick. They'll just jump on it. They'll just be like, oh, it's a cop on the phone and he's telling me. It's a cop on the phone and he's telling me that this has to happen.
This is official. He's got a warrant for me to do this. It really is that it's crazy that he could like almost like shoot a dart at any place and there's a shitty enough person to go along with that.
He did have a method. This was my other maybe possibly funny part about this whole horrible situation is he would only call like small town restaurants. They avoided to saying it in the documentary. They called stupid people. He called stupid people like specifically.
You can catch some of not our best and brightest. We're not sending them out there.
I bet if the one time, he called like a 7-Eleven in New York, the manager was like, hey, Charlene, this guy's trying to get me to get you fucking naked. Get out of here, you fucking pervert. Slam. Like, it took 2 seconds for people up there to be like, this ain't shit.
I'm sure if he called, like, the Glass McDonald's downtown in the Loop or River North or something, they would probably put out a thing about it. Like, that would probably...
Well, now it would never happen. I feel like people are like...
Yeah, when did it take place?
This was, like, early 2000s, 2003.
Man, that is an absolutely...
You have to watch it.
That's the wildest scheme I've ever heard.
Obviously, like... And it's crazy because the one case they really focus on that really cracked it open was this McDonald's, right? And the assistant manager lady who answers the phone is engaged to the manager who's there. He's the guy who like commits all these sex crimes.
Yeah.
So like it mind warped them so hard that she was like, yeah, have this young lady come in, get naked in front of my husband, have her like sit on my husband's lap. Like she was going along with it too.
She got that bought into this. This man is
he's a mind snake.
Convincing. I mean, the powers of evil this man is using to just go.
It's so confusing because you're like, as a human being, you're like, there's gotta be. And then of course, like there are some stories of like him, the guy, because he does it hundreds of times. So there's like another restaurant where he's got part of the way there, and then somebody comes in the office and is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I'd imagine that would happen sometimes a bit.
Yeah.
If someone just came in like, hey, I'm here to talk about changing my schedule, and then there's just a girl that's just naked, bending over.
Yeah, being like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you strip searching Caitlin?
And having to be like, no, there's a man on the phone. He's from Palm Springs PD. He says he's legit.
Yeah.
I've got to put my fingers in here for some reason.
It's nuts.
It does seem like when someone walking in would like knock away whatever spell that he's managing to do.
Yeah,
he's just got like a gravelly
and
voice.
It's like, what is this manager of McDonald's thinking while that's happening? He's got to just be like, this is the best country in the world. A cop is asking this to happen. Like, what? You can't. There's got to be like, it's impossible to think that there wasn't a point where this guy was like, this is bullshit. But let's just see. Like, that's why he did go to jail. Both of them went to jail.
Yeah, I think it's like at some point maybe he understood the lie that was happening and was like, it's kind of like
he must have. Unless you're the stupidest man in the world. I mean, but then you're still going to jail. Everyone's going to jail.
I feel like it's like maybe like if you go to McDonald's, like this would be an analogy. If you go to McDonald's and they give you like someone's like, why, yes, sir, you paid for some extra French fries. And then they give you like a wink and then wink. Like maybe as he understood, like this girl's got to get naked. Oh, she does have to get naked for me. Like he kind of understood that this was going in his favor immediately when he received the call.
And just didn't care enough about people to like
didn't
make
care
it stop.
Damn about a human being at all. He'd been cleaning vomit out of slides for a while.
That was one I started that last night and I was like starting to be sleepy, and then the first episode I was like, this is fucking nuts. So then I watched the second and then fell asleep in the third.
That's absolute insanity.
It's a wonderful way to fall asleep, I think.
It is a good way to fall asleep. Wait, did you fall asleep during the second and then you watched so you were doing like
I watched some Justice happen because then I was like, justice has to happen. I watched it. And then I fell asleep when they're gonna catch the creep in the third one, I'm sure.
Every show can be like that show Kaleidoscope if you just fall asleep enough during
What's that show Kaleidoscope?
That's the new show they came out with where like you can watch it's like a heist show. There's 8 episodes and you can watch it in whatever episode that you want to watch it.
Hate a heist. I
Not
hate
a fan of a
heist.
heist?
I
What about
fucking hate heists.
It's so
dude.
much hygiene.
Leave
that
it
you
where
can
it
do.
is. You guys don't need it, and I'm not entertained by it.
That is a good point. Everyone that does a heist, they don't. It's always someone that's in a suit. They're always living ritzy.
It's all the same stuff.
You can always people that can afford advanced climbing equipment, that they can afford that laser cutting thing. It seems like
See, they always go high tech with heists. I like very low tech heists. I like let's steal Jimmy's $20 for Coke or something. That's a movie I want to see. Because then you see real people do real things, not like, I'm going to use my 3D glasses I can see through walls.
I'm going to dress up as a chef, and I'm going to go in here, and you're going to hide under my hat.
Yeah. Steal your grandma's Percocet. That's a movie I want to see.
Dun, 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 dun. I like it where no one's got names. No one's walking in being like, well, Mr. Black, just someone going through a dog door to get their fucking aunt's back medication.
Make that a film. If you shot that in a normal heist movie fashion,
that would be actually legitimately
Top
all
of the
just
charts.
like in such a shitty beater car rather than like a nice like white van that's got like satellite phones in
and
it.
he's waiting there going, come on,
Come on.
and he has like National Geographic toy walkie-talkies.
You guys gotta get out of there. It's just got, like Krusty the Crown.
I really want to get high.
Rather than just like 10-4, we've got an owl that's coming in the barn, just being like, you guys gotta fucking hurry the fuck. You guys know I can't keep the car running this long. Dun 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 dun.
But you watched a doc.
I watched a doc. I watched the Bernie Madoff doc. We were talking a little bit off mic where you think it's one of these financial schemes where it's like, well, one of these, again, the rich got the rich. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what I thought it was.
It's a crime where like one of these big wigs, and guess who got hurt? The big wigs got to taste their own medicine. And turns out he was just targeting Holocaust victims, which is one of the most vulnerable
so targeted.
groups. They thought they were in the clear, quite honestly. You could tell a lot of them thought they were in the clear. They were in Florida, and they thought there's no way that something so terrible. Like you could tell some of them had they thought they got their quota, and then this man comes along.
That's
Elie
evil
Wiesel,
motherfucker.
Elie Wiesel, who was the one that wrote the book Night, which is very good. It's a horrifying book. I used to read it when I was in high school before I went to bed, and it was terrifying. And,
Night, like Night.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, like Night. Because there's a book that's one of the books is like
Don't
it's like
say it like I'm stupid.
No. I had to think about it because I didn't.
No, you went. Yeah, like Night, like what I
No.
fucking said.
I swear
like
to God.
Night. Yeah,
I
like
swear
night,
to
night,
you.
like Night is
you
night.
spelled, and I can't do spelling in my head too. I honestly, that was a 50-50 shot. I don't know how to spell. I can't spell when things
I
are
was
spelled
just
out
making
loud.
sure we aren't talking about medieval nights. That's all.
It would make more because one of them I think is called like Day or something like that. I'm gonna have to go to, but like one of them is about not being in the Holocaust, and you don't want to listen to that one. You know what I mean? You want the good stuff. But he said,
I see. I get you.
He said that Bernie Madoff was the worst person that he'd ever met, and this guy's met a lot of bad people because of the Holocaust. Because of the Holocaust.
You'd probably run into some bad folks.
You can move into not the nicest chumps. Someone your mom wouldn't want you playing with is who you're going to run in those places.
For sure.
And so this is what he would do, is that his scam was people would say, "Where's my money?" And he would go to his computer and he would be like $20 billion. And he printed it on a laser dot printer, and he would hand it to him, and they'd be like, "I'd like to." They would ask him questions about it, and they'd be like, "Where are you getting this money from?" The problem was he never lost money, ever. So in his 30 years, he always got a good return, and people would be like, "That's actually impossible. We'd run the numbers. You'd have to have more money than has ever existed in all the gold mines in the world." And be like, "You can take your money out if it's good." And they're like, no, we're not going to take our money out. And then so like he would always threaten. The second someone would be like, "Let me look at those books," he would be like, "I got a book for you right here."
Yeah.
And people would be so intimidated, and they wouldn't do it, and they'd be like, "All right, we're going to keep it in." And then eventually the whole banking system collapsed, and he's like, "I've never had money." And it ends in kind of a note where he's like, "I never had the money the whole time. It kind of feels good to get this off my chest." I've been broke. Like he has this moment of being like, "I'm just so glad I don't have to hide about it." And then of course in the documentary, cut to just a bunch of Holocaust survivors just being, just staring and just being like, "Man, this is maybe the worst thing that's ever happened to me." and that's a lot.
This is number 2, but it's feeling like number 1 right now.
If you had told me after number 1 that anything wowould come close to number 1, and the fact that I'm here right now is something special, I'll tell you right now. I mean, I thought never. I mean, this is...
Oh, that sucks.
Because he would, Elie Wiesel...
What was he spending? He was just spending it on cool shit in New York?
He was spending on cool shit.
feel
He was
that.
keeping up appearances. A lot of it was he was, having to take from Peter to pay Paul.
Right,
so
right.
A lot of it was just... At some point... you're just doing it just so it doesn't. It seems like, honestly, it was a full-time stressful job of 15 years of lying.
Yeah, I feel bad for him and Kenyon. Kenyon's probably in the same situation. He asked me for money to pay you, and then asked you to pay money to pay me. I mean, I feel bad for him, poor guy. He's probably tuckered out.
The problem is that Bernie Madoff, it's like, guys, I never had the $37 billion. But with Kenyon, it's a little bit sadder because, like, guys, I never had that $97.
I never had the 95.
The 95 was a complete lie. Guys, I told you the 95 over text. All I had is a $20 Starbucks gift card I got for Christmas. It's been a whole fraud. Honestly, I'm relieved to tell you guys.
He will be back next week. I feel bad talking shit about him.
And he's going to make a triumphant return.
Yeah, he's doing comedy when you can do comedy. You know, he's doing comedy in North Carolina, getting all the shows. He's performing in every city in North Carolina.
He's doing the North Carolina tour. I was talking to someone. He might actually be there in Cherokee when I'm there. He'll probably make it.
He's probably doing the main room in the
He's probably doing the main room of the casino. Every time I see him, he is headlining rooms in cities. Like, he's hit the main cities I know, and now he's hit cities I've never. Roanoke Rapids.
I've never heard of that.
I never even got an offer to go out to Roanoke Rapids. I didn't even know they were doing comedy out there. The next thing you know, they're building damn near statues for Kenyon out in Roanoke Rapids.
God bless him.
Dolly Parton's brother has a theater out there that failed. It went under immediately. It was the only thing that was ever built in the town, and then I think it went under in about 4 years. And there's just this big monument to nepotism people out there. And guess who's performing there?
Who?
Probably Kenyon. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. You ever be like cornered at a thing with your uncle? And he just kind of brings up. That was what that was.
Yeah, I thought I was. Here's the thing: is I really thought I was going to go somewhere with it. You have no idea how much I believed in that anecdote.
Wanted to see. That was like literally after the last bite, and he goes, Dolly Parton's daughter's got a theater over there. You know who's going to be performing there? Yeah, probably your buddy. Anyway, what do you want to drink? Like, it's just one of those, like, crazy, like,
that was like, the scene in The Other Guys where they jump off the roof? That's what that story felt like. I really thought I was aiming for the bushes, and I was like, yeah, I mean, you should really learn to not invest in such greedy people in your family. So, Kenyon, what are your dates? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just doing the Humboldt Jungle. If you're listening to this, it'll be like next Wednesday. It's going to be fun as fuck. Look it up if you want tickets. I think you have to follow them on Instagram, and then they do a thing. It's like really cool and hip. So if you're not cool and hip, don't even fucking bother.
Don't even come.
But please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, because we're just trying to get to 1K.
Just got to get to that 1K. Just everyone, tell a friend about it. Tell 2 friends about it. Just tell everyone you know.
Tell 5 friends. Then you don't have to do anything.
You don't
even have to. Here's the best part about it. You can click subscribe. You don't have to fucking watch.
You don't have to watch it.
That's crazy.
You ever have your friend post like a really long thing you don't even watch, but just to support them that you redo it? Do that. Do that for this.
That felt so pointed and hurtful.
Not to Nick. I have never done that to Nick. I watch a lot of Nick's things.
All right. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it.
You guys are great.
Hey guys, you just listened to another episode of Fuck You Dad. If you could follow us on our Instagram, which is FCKYOUDAD podcast. That's the important one. We also have a Twitter account, which is FCKYOUDADPODCA1. If you could follow that. Also, please submit any father stories that you have that you'd like us to make fun of, laugh at, or share. Shoot that to our Instagram DMs. And if you could please go ahead and rate the podcast, share the podcast with your friends and family that might enjoy it, and keep listening. Thank you so much.